Mike Johnson's House just passed this $1.2 trillion spending bill full of so much pork, it's even hard to count. The fact that they sent this bill over on Thursday, expected them to pass it today, which it did end up passing, is just ridiculous. I mean, the biggest thing is, who the hell is writing these bills? You know, it's not the members in Congress that are really not intellectually there that probably throw a few bullet points. Have a group of people put the bill together based on all these different corporate interests, all the stuff with the LGBTQ, all the stuff that the Democrats want, the Republicans, I'm sure they want some earmarks and such geared towards anyone in their states to help them with re-election. Ultimately, I think that Johnson, what he's trying to do is kind of stay on the DL right now. He knows there's an election coming up. He wants the littlest amount of news to be covering the House as possible so that there aren't any disruptions, potentially being able to hold on to the House come this November. Also, there is the fact that the Republicans have a very, very slim majority in the House. I think it's 5 or 6 seats. I can't keep track anymore because of the members who are getting booted out, the ones who are leaving voluntarily, like Ken Buck. I'm sure in the future we're going to find out the true reason why Ken Buck did leave. I think there might be something there. Maybe the Democrats have something on him. But it just goes to show how the Republicans consistently get beat, whether they have a majority or not, in the House when it does come to these spending bills. I will give Nancy Pelosi a ton of credit. When she ran the House, when she had the gavel, she had all the Democrats on point. They were consistently voting in unison all the time. And the Democrats have this like hive mentality, right? Where you have the worker bees and then you have a queen up above. Although I'm not really calling Pelosi a queen, but you know that there's someone who is running that whole game where they have this overarching vision of what they're supposed to be voting towards. And then there's all the crazy shit. So let's say, I wouldn't say quite worker bees status. I'd say more like minions. Think about that Despicable Me movie series, you know, with Gru, and he's got all of his minions, where the minions, no matter what, you have this like this top goal in mind, right? Like I think theirs was shrinking the moon and attaining the moon, taking the moon. But then they all do their stupid crap. On the side, they're always doing all this stupid shit. But overall, their visions are all aligned on those same big goals. That is essentially the Democrats in the House, where you consistently, like AOC, no clue. Actually, AOC, I was trying to think, I was like, what is a good nickname for AOC that I've been thinking about? I seriously, the card-holding bimbo of the House. That is what she is. She's a card-holding communist within the House, and she is just dumb as a box of rocks. She proved this not knowing that RICO was a crime. Let's check that video right here.
And what crime have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption statutes, RICO and conspiracy.
What is it? What is the crime, sir?
You
specifically.
You asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption statutes.
Excuse me, sir. RICO is not a crime. It is a category.
You know, you think about like Jamal Bowman pulling the fire alarm.
Jamal Bowman, who represents much of the Bronx and Westchester County, is under investigation for pulling a fire alarm before the House voted on the funding bill earlier this evening.
Let's see, you've got Swalwell with Fang Fang. They're not smart people. And not only that, but whenever we like the State of the Union address, like Biden says something and they get up and they say, and they're all clapping, all, yeah, they're all super excited.
Looking good, Kevin. How's the family? Good? All right. That's my Billy boy.
It's ridiculous watching them. Everything is a show. They're always so excited about their agenda. It's just such bullcrap, but that is a big reason why Pelosi was able to keep her thumb on all these members, because they all have these overarching goals. This is what we're geared towards. Go off on the side and talk about the shit that you're passionate about, but this is what we're geared towards, and you are going to be a member of this. You are going to make sure that you vote for these larger bills to make sure that we do push our agenda forward. I think this is the biggest problem with the Republican Party, is there is no overarching vision for the party. Everyone's always different when we're talking about abortion, spending, let's see what else. The border. It seems like they're all everywhere. And there's not one person being like, guys, we need to put a vision together. We need to have something in mind. This is what we stand for. And no matter what comes across our table, we need to make sure that we are inching towards these goals. And they just don't seem to do that. They all have their individual ideas about what's good, what's bad. I'm sure they have some lobbyists on the back end telling them what to do because, like I said, they're just not smart. There's not too many smart people in the House. The majority of them are idiots. They're there are some good ones out there. We need to have that overarching vision for the conservative party. And hopefully Trump can kind of bring it back into sight. Like I said, I mean, he's not super conservative. So like just throwing it out there, me personally, I voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020. I mean, in 2024, sorry guys, I was all about DeSantis, and so that's who I voted for in the actually I wasn't able to because he had already jumped out before the primary came down into Florida. But I think that he is great about this is our conservative principles. This is what we're gearing towards. But at the same time, I'm not an idiot. I'm not one of those guys out there saying, "Oh, you know what? DeSantis is gonna win. Screw Trump. I'm not gonna vote for Trump." That's just dumb, right? Our ultimate vision, being conservatives, isn't about one person. So even though I personally think that Ron DeSantis would have done better, doesn't mean that I think Trump can't forward our vision more in the conservative principles. So I think that's what really the Republican Party needs to do if they do want to change things or how the public perceives them. They need to have a coming home where it's like, pick 3-4 major topics. Where do we stand on this? And this is going to be our sword in stone. We are not going to deviate from this. Yes, there are some stuff that we're going to give concessions to the Democrats here, there, minor things that they whine and cry about all the freaking time. But where are we going to stand firm on? We're going to stand firm on the border with abortion. What does that look like? You have different ends of the spectrum where we have some Republicans saying, you know, no abortion whatsoever. And then you have others who are saying, okay, no, I'd be fine with a 15-week ban. Come together as consensus, like, all right, where do we stand firm on abortion? Where do we stand firm on spending? Do we get to a point where it's like, guys, we are spending ourselves into oblivion. Where does this stop? How do we sit here and get this under control so we can start bringing this deficit down? I don't know if it's possible. I honestly don't know if the Republicans can come together in a way to get our spending in place because they all have their special interests and stuff in the back end telling them where they want to send money. And so we just need to get those principles in place with this Republican Party. Otherwise, this country, it doesn't matter who is leading in Congress, doesn't matter. It's just going to keep on going off this cliff, and we need to stop the bleeding, guys. Our boat is sinking right now. We need to make sure that we plug that hole and get back afloat. Thank you so much, guys. This one, you know, there wasn't too much I really want to talk about. This is obviously one of the top topics right now since it was just passed. But thank you so much for watching. I just ask you again, if you could please follow along if you do love this content. Till next time, stay free.